Hey up, welcome back. Oh, the saga of the Royal Enfield Classic 650 and trying to get insurance for that there bike which I pick up from Apple Yards tomorrow. So I'm now talking to you on a Sunday. Now then, not just problems that I've had, but it transpires problems that a lot of other people have had trying to get this particular model of bike, which is brand new to market, trying to get it insured because it does not yet feature on any of the appropriate databases for the underwriters and the insurance brokers, etc. So I'll come on to that. I will come on to that. Stick around, stay tuned, because I have a formal explanation as to why it is currently problematic to insure this bike. However, there is a workaround. There is a very good workaround, and I'll come on to that shortly. First off though, a few people have asked in relation to this morning's video, Sunday morning's video, of our fantastic ride out with Andy and Colin into the North York Moors and up to the Lion Inn and then up Rosedale Chimney Bank, that sort of area. Fantastic ride out. A lot of you have asked what the actual route was, so I'll put the route up here. Andy's very kindly sent me a map of the route, so you can pause this, have a look at that and peruse it at your leisure. Basically, find whichever way is convenient to you to get to the village of Helmsley in the North York Moors, and from there you need to get to Kirby Moorside, and from Kirby Moorside it's a straight road through the charming village of Hutton Le Hole right up to the Lion Inn, right on the top of the moors there. And from there the route took us, as you'll have seen on that video, to the Yorkshire Cycle Hub, place I've never come across before, but cracking cafe there in the middle of nowhere. And from there we meander our way and eventually end up climbing up Rosedale Chimney Bank, where we stop for a spot of lunch. So I'll put up the route, feel free to pause and peruse at your leisure, but basically to get up to the Lion Inn it's Helmsley, Kirby Moorside, Hutton Le Hole, and just follow the straight road until you come to the pub. Okay, that's what we did. Now then, the saga of the Royal Enfield Classic 650 insurance. Right, bit of a backdrop. I have 4 motorcycles, as you know, and 3 of the 4 are insured on a multi-bike policy courtesy of Bennett's, and Bennett's have always been very good indeed, in my experience. So the 3 bikes that are on that multi-bike policy: CF Moto 800 MT, Moto Guzzi V7 Stone Special, and the Royal Enfield Classic 350. When I came to buy the BSA Goldstar 650 at the back end of last year, I tried to get that put on as a 4th bike on the multi-bike policy, which was underwritten by a company called Highway, and unfortunately they weren't prepared to insure a 4th bike on that policy for whatever reason, and that didn't become clear. So I had to take out a separate insurance policy on the BSA Goldstar, but it came in at a good price, 200 quid on the nose, no issues whatsoever for a year there. Fully comprehensive insurance for a year, 200 quid. Don't think we can argue with that. So that's the historical context. So when I made the decision to chop in my CF Moto 800 MT for the new Royal Enfield Classic 650, I just assumed it would be a simple phone call to Bennett's to say, swap these 2 bikes over please on the policy. No, not that straightforward. I rang Bennett's up, I asked them if they would do that, and I was told that because the Classic 650 is a brand new bike to market, they would have to come back to me in the next 72 hours, and they would basically try and find somebody that was prepared to cover the bike. So cut a long story short, that were a bit of a problem for me, because this conversation was had on Thursday, and I'm collecting the bike noon on a Monday. So if they're coming back to me within 72 hours, well, the 72 hours is up on Sunday morning, but they're not open on Sunday, so take Sunday out of the equation altogether, and potentially I was left with a situation where I wouldn't be getting this here promised email with the relevant information on until after 9 o'clock on the Monday morning of the day that I'm collecting the bike at 12 o'clock, and that is just not enough time to ensure that everything is in place. So it was on that basis that when we got to Saturday morning and I still hadn't heard back from Bennett's, no email, I decided to seize the initiative and, based on recommendations by a few people, contact BikeSure. Now, BikeSure insured my Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 a couple of years back, so I have experience of BikeSure. They were very good. So basically I went online. You can go online to BikeSure and you can put in all the details, all your personal details, the details of the bike. And what happened in my case is they invited me to make an appointment for them to call me back, which I did. And I asked them to call me back at 10 o'clock in the morning, and at precisely 2 minutes past 10, BikeSure called me back. And very, very helpful gentleman indeed on the line. Spoke to him at length, and the response there from BikeSure was basically the same response initially as I'd got from Bennett's, basically saying the Classic 650 is not on the databases anymore, so we can't actually give you a quote based on that motorcycle. However, and the however of it all is the solution. However, there is a workaround, they said. So basically went through all my details again, and a few strings pulled on a few supervisors in the call centre, I assume, spoken to, and I had cover, 12 months of separate cover on the Classic 650 for just over £200. So yeah, £203 if memory serves. So yeah, happy to pay that all up front, no problem at all. More than satisfied with that. And within what, 10 minutes, all the relevant documents had been emailed to me, and I was able to email over to Appleyard's a copy of the certificate of insurance. So that angle was covered. Now then, Bennett, yeah. Eventually the email came through, but it didn't come through until around about 2 o'clock, but I didn't pick it up until after 3 o'clock, and the phone lines close at 3 o'clock, which meant again that I wouldn't be able to speak to Bennett's in any case until after 9 o'clock on the following day, the Monday morning, because they're shut on Sunday, and that's just too close to call. It's way too close to the time when I'm scheduled to pick up the bike to start umming and ahhing about insurance and all the relevant details. So the bottom line with Bennett's is I will just ask them to delete the CF Moto from that multi-bike policy, and there'll just be 2 bikes on that policy, the Moto Guzzi and the Classic 350. So that's how it's mapping out for me. Now then, the gentleman at BikeSure did explain to me something I didn't fully understand about why this happens, and it happens on a regular basis. And a lot of you out there commented on the earlier video that it's happened to you in relation to lots of different bikes, that at the point that you've bought that particular bike and sought to insure it, it has been new to market and not yet on the databases, and that you've had the same problems that I've encountered. So apparently the MIBA, Motor Insurance Bureaus Association, they sit down on a monthly basis with the industry and arrive at a risk assessment and a costing for a bike that's brand new to market. And the key factor there is that every month. So if your bike that you're buying new, you're going to buy it at the beginning of that cycle, just after the last monthly sit down, then you're waiting another month, aren't you, for the databases to be updated and getting your bike insured. Okay, so that's why it happens. They only meet on a monthly basis, so it depends where in the cycle of those arrangements that you're buying the bike, and the bike is new to market. So all of those things conspire together to make it a bit of a drama when it comes to insuring a bike under those circumstances. Now, Bike Show got around it by putting the bike through as a Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. And if you think about it from a risk assessment point of view, that makes eminent common sense, because it's basically a different style of the same bike. It's the same Royal Enfield parallel twin 650 platform, 648cc platform, similar weight, and as makes no difference, they are one and the same bike in terms of the insurance risk. So that's what they did, and that's what everybody should be able to do. Now, what surprises me is that when I initially spoke to Bennett's, they didn't take me through that process. And what I would have liked to have seen from Bennett's, instead of, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you, and you'll get an email within 72 hours and we'll be able to tell you whether you can sort you out or not, I would have expected to have been dealt with the way that Bike Show dealt with it. And instead of doing that, saying, yes, but there is a workaround for this by actually creating a profile under another motorcycle that's near identical. But that was something that Bike Show were able to do right at the point of my call, something that it would appear Bennett's needed at least 48, if not 72 hours to be able to sort it out, with no guarantee of a positive outcome. So I'm sure you'll understand why I've gone down that route. In terms of Bennett's insurance cover, I've no criticism whatsoever. I've always been absolutely fine with them, found the prices good, the terms good, all the rest of it. But on this particular set of fairly niche circumstances, they couldn't help me out, and Bike Show could. So it's as simple as that, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so that's how we arrived at a solution. So if you find yourself in a similar situation yourself with the Classic 650 or any other bike for that matter, you might want to give Bike Show a call if you've not had any success elsewhere. I'm not saying that no other broker would have been in a position to do that work for me. All I can say is that I rang Bike Show first, they dealt with it straight away. When I rang Bennett's, it was going to be up to 3 days before we could get anywhere with it. So that's the hard realities of insuring a motorcycle, isn't it? Shows you how easy it is to lose custom. There you go. Aye, so that'd be that. So there might well be other brokers out there that are prepared to deal with it in that way. But Bennett's was the first one that I rang. They answered very, very quickly and they sorted it all out. Can't be bad, can it? Okay, so I think that's everything. Thank you as ever for all your very, very kind comments regarding Saturday mornings and this morning, Sunday morning's video. Both in stunning scenery. I'm sure you'll agree, two of my favourite routes now, those. So yeah, so Classic 650, all being well, tomorrow 12 noon, and there will be plenty of coverage on this channel about that bike. So if that's the sort of thing you're interested in, please, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything, not now, not ever. It doesn't mean anything. It just helps me to continue with creating content on this channel. So with that, I'll wish you safe riding, and I'll catch you the next time. I'll see thee.